Well, these are the salon seats, and this is how bad they look in the salon. So I'm going to take these out, and we're going to redo them. I'm going to show you guys on how I do it. So check it out. All right, guys. Well, this right here is what the salon seats look like. They're horrible looking. Um, they're just tearing up, tearing off. They're just wore out. I mean, they look like a school bus seat, if you remember what those look like. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking these apart, and we're going to start taking the staples out of them. Yep, there was something in the cup holder. A nickel. So we're going to use this tool that I made. This is just a flathead screwdriver that I bent into it kind of sharpened it a little bit, and it just makes it into a little prying tool. And that's what we're going to use to pull all these staples out. The way that we're going to pull these out is we're going to get right underneath that staple, like so, and just pull up on it. Now, it's probably not going to pull both sides out, but that's okay. We'll use a pair of pliers and we'll pull them out. And as you can see, there are several staples all the way around. Now, I built these things about 5 years ago, so maybe 6 years ago. They didn't last very long, but kids playing on them and stuff like that, that's what happened to them. So let's go ahead and get all these staples out. You want to make darn sure while you're doing this not to do this, because this will go into your hand and cut yourself really bad. Ask me how I know. All right, now this cover's got to come off. I'm gonna take these cup holders out. All right. The one thing we are going to keep is we're going to keep this piping. I can find where it attaches at right here. Old piece of piping right there. Now this is not really piping material, but that's what I used. Didn't hurt a darn thing. And there's the next one. And you can see this is the window. This is 46 and a half by 27 and 3/4. And I would be willing to bet that that is still correct. It's actually 46 and a quarter. But that is because of all these lines that are sewed in it now. It's shrunk down a little bit. So at least I know next what it's got to be, the next size has got to be. That's a good thing. All right, now that we got all the covers off, we've got all our measurements on our benches, we're going to pull out the new material, and we're going to start measuring it. We're going to start with the center one first, and then we'll make our diamond pattern in the center. That way, the one to the right of it will continue on with the same diamond pattern, and the one to the left of it will continue on with that same diamond pattern. So let's get started with that. Wipe off my counter a little bit right here. Make sure there's no extra staples or anything. All right, the middle piece is 45 3/8 by 26 3/4, which we need to add an inch to both of those for the seam. All right, let's pull this out. All right, you got to square up your material first. Dang it, I forgot about that. It's okay, that's why I brought this thing in here. This thing here is the material square son of a monk. Let's make sure that it's square. It's pretty close though, I think. Okay. Just that little bit off will make a hell of a difference. Huh? No, that would not work. That'll make one heck of a difference. Now what's this one supposed to be? 27 3/4. Right on the money, ain't it? 27 3/4. Okay. Now, I got some flat board underneath here that worked really good for that right there, Pop. You know it? Now, what's this one got to be? This one's got to be 46 3/8. 46 3/8, which is right there. Now, this way's got to be 27 3/4. 27 3/4 is right there. That's our corner right there. That's supposed to be 46 3/8. Look, it's way off. How the hell did I get it so far off a while ago? Huh? It wasn't square at all, was it? Okay. So now, we'll take our this here, and this here. All right, we'll put this. Might as well put this up here, huh? Probably should hit that a little bit with our sandpaper, huh? Which I think we already did, but close enough. Okay. Now, get this in here. Now I know this is the middle for the next one, so okay, that's the middle. All right. Now, while we're doing this, we're going to cut them all out. Then we can come back and we can roll this off and cut our sides one at a time. So we'll just have to kind of fold this up a little bit as we go. This next one is going to be 47 inches and 27 3/4. Just 7. I'm just double checking that. Okay. Let's go on and pull this out. We know it's going to go to about right there. Now this is foam. The way we're going to put this foam on is we're going to spray glue on top of this part right here. And then once we're going to move this out of the way, and we're going to spray glue on this here. Always remember when you're spraying glue, do it in a well ventilated room. And I'm spraying it this way on this particular piece. And the lines are kind of up and down. You know, you got to use, some glue too. So don't be afraid to use some. I mean, you don't have to get excessive with it. Now, I've got that sprayed down. We'll just pick this up. And we'll move it out of the way. Yeah. Now, since I sprayed that one this way, this one I'm going to spray this way. That way they'll kind of cross hatch pattern when you go to glue this thing down. And you know right where to spray because it kind of left an imprint on where to go. You know, you can see all the way around where you've got to spray. You see any spots that just doesn't look very good, go back and hit them again. The spray glue that I'm using is just a trim adhesive bond. And it's for standard headliners, carpet, and foams. Every upholstery place that you buy your stuff from will usually have a house brand, and this is what Performance Products, aerosols, I don't know, but you can use 3M, any kind of glue that's a 2-part where you spray this part and you spray this part, you wait a little bit, and then you stick it together, and that's what we're doing here. So it only takes about 2 minutes to tack up, and then we'll go ahead and put our piece of vinyl on top of our foam. All right. So we're going to put it in place now. It's all right. Stick it down. Ready to go. All right. All right. We'll get this cut out. And after we get this cut out, we'll start putting our pattern on. This is our middle piece right here. We'll start the pattern here. That way it works to the right and to the left. I'm going to show you something. When you're cutting out these material like this and you put sew foam on it and you glued it on there, there's a certain way you need to cut these. If you're right-handed and you've got right-handed scissors, you need to cut clockwise. And the reason I say that is because when you cut, you're cutting with the material against this flat side right here. And the glue side is cutting on this cliff side. We'll call this cliff side. And when you cut, you're pulling away, and it's not wanting to stick. You see? But if you cut the other way, like this, you cut, and it tries to stick to your shears. So cut clockwise when you're cutting this stuff off. What I've got here is I've got our material laid out with the sew foam on it, and I've already made some reference marks on the center going this way and the center going this way. Now we want to throw we don't want to make diamonds, we want to make like squares but sideways, at an angle. So the best way to do that is to figure out your length, which is 28 inches here. We're going to take half of that, make it 14, and draw it in the center. Well, you take it over here and you put your 14 here and you go 28, and then 0, then 0, and 28 with 14 in the middle of that measurement. Then you're going to take this, which is your straight edge, and you're going to put it right here on this measurement, and this one right here, and the very center should line up on the center of your mat. And if it does, you've got your start. And that's where you start from. So you take it and you draw a line right here with an ink pen, and there's your first mark. And then you take it and move it over, line it up carefully, and you'll get your second mark. Whoop, got a little off on that one. Don't get carried away. This is the back side. It ain't going to hurt if you mess it up. Now to do this one here, you're going to line up this mark here on this side, and then you're going to go to this mark over here on this side, and what do you know? It lines up right in the center. And there's your pattern. All right, so now you just start laying them out one at a time all the way across until you get all 3 panels done. All right, now that's that. Everything looks lined up for the most part, so we're good. All right, now that we have all of our lines drawn out, we're going to go ahead and start sewing the lines in. And what we're going to do is we're going to start on one side and just kind of go at an angle like this.
And then we'll get through with all the way this way. Then we'll start here on this corner and we'll work all the way this way. But we'll probably work up to about, I don't know, right in here maybe. And then we'll flip it over and start here and go this way. That way we don't have to just keep going all the way across with this, all this. You have to fold this up as you lay these out. You got to fold it up. So you're rolling it up and you're rolling it through the machine, then you roll it through the machine and roll it through the machine. It has to be rolled up. But let's go ahead and start that now, and we're going to do a practice piece first to make sure our stitches are right. And once we make sure our stitches are right, we'll be ready to start on our material. But don't start on this till you make sure your stitches are right. And the best way to make sure they're right is use a piece of the same material and the same sew foam put together. That way you can test it correctly. I've got a piece of sew foam here. I'm going to cut a piece of this material. I'm going to put it on there. And we're going to go test it with this right here. And this should give us a good test to make sure this is going to work properly. We're going to turn our machine on. We're going to test this piece. I have some thread in here. I just checked my bobbin. So I'm going to take this piece here. We're going to lift up the foot. And we're going to hold it and we're going to test it out. Now this is just a top sew test piece. Now you're going to be sewing on the back side of it. But the reason I'm doing this is I want to be able to see both sides. Okay. That one looks good. This side looks a little tight. We're going to see. Let me sew it from the back side now and let's see what it does. Let's see. Cut it again. It's hard to see this black on black thread and black material. It's hard to tell if it's doing right or not. It really is hard to tell. You want to pay real close attention to how much bobbin thread you have on your bobbin. It looks to me like I've got enough to make maybe 3 runs, and I'm going to have to change it out. But I'm going to play it by ear. We're going to see. I'm going to look at it after the second run, and we'll go from there. This first run is really, really short. Could probably do it by hand, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it by hand. And that was pretty easy. All right, second run. All right, let's see here. Now I'm trying not to make a whole bunch of bulk on the ends. But I want to go ahead and lock that stitch real good because there's going to be kids sitting on these things. And we don't want them messing it up, pulling threads out or anything. But that looks pretty good to me. Maybe it ought to go a little bit tighter. Alright, let's take a look at our bobbin. Maybe one more. And then we'll have to change that bobbin out. Alright. That ought to be pretty close to the end. Right there. Yep. See, that pulled out. That might have done another row, but we don't want to take that chance because you don't want to get halfway through and then have to cut it out. So make sure you got plenty of bobbin before you do your rows. Alright. Bobbin has changed. I know from in the past I can do like 7 of these. So we're going to just go ahead and do 7. 7's going to get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll look at it after 7 and go from there. That'll work. Don't worry about it coming out of there. Fine. Okay, now we got a new bobbin in there. We can do 7 runs. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know what happened there. But it's on the end, so that's good. Dang it. all short ones here. Still long enough though. Might not be able to do 4 more. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I got that hung up on. Okay. That's all it'll do. It'll stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Okay. All right, I drew out these strips here, and I'm gonna cut these up, and this is gonna be my piping, and I'll show you how I put this string in the piping here in just a minute. Once you get it in there, you hold your thread on the back side. Go ahead and start your stitch. All right, now make sure that you get this up off the ground. It's not tied in a knot. Throw it over your shoulder or whatever you gotta do, and fold this in like this, and that's how you make your piping. And like I said, it's in that little groove. There's a groove right up underneath here, and that's where it's at. Throw it over my shoulder, throw the string on one shoulder and the material on the other shoulder, and just let her feed, you know. I'm going to stop it right there, and I will fix this when I put it on the material after I get it all the way around. But this is what it looks like. Gives you a nice, pretty piping to go around your material. And that'll make it look a little bit more professional. Alright, now we're going to start by putting this piping on. I'm going to throw it up over my right shoulder. We're going to go ahead and start the stitch right here. So I'm going to grab hold of it on this side. I'm going to hold it and let her bump a little bit right there. Back it up. So this is for just the piping. And this is going to make it, give it that decorative edge. Trim this corner out just a little bit, just to round it out just a hair. Not much at all. We don't want to round it too much. And now we'll split this here. Let me get some better shears on that. Let's see. Let's cut it right there, right there, right there, right there, and right there. And these are relief cuts so that it'll make this curve right here with no problem. And this is going to be slow and steady. We'll lock it. Come on around with it right here. All right. Yeah. Now we're going to round this one off just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and snip these edges with a relief cut. All right, and we will go around the edge with this one now. Hello?
I'm calling to tell you this now so I don't forget for like a 500th time. Bob told me yesterday that Dylan's heater is not working in his car.
His heater's not working in his car?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I guess it is. All right.
So I just didn't want to forget.
Okay, baby.
All right, I love you.
Love you too. Bye. Where's the middle at? Right there is the middle. Right there is the middle. Okay, good. Okay. Now we'll go around the other direction. Go this over my shoulder. Make a little round off cut right here. Little relief cut right here. Not much, just a little bit. Okay. Throw that up over your shoulders. Now I'm gonna work this by hand because it's more accurate by working it by hand. Lock it right there. Bring this on around. Let's see here. Leaf cuts. Round this off a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. We'll round this one a little bit. Just a little bit more on that maybe. And some leaf cuts. And we'll put this in here like so. this. Round it off a little bit. Round that one off a little bit. Make some relief cuts. Straighten that booger out a little bit. Now we'll make a couple of relief cuts right here. And the only reason I'm doing this by hands is because I don't want to make a mistake and I don't want to have to do it over again. So just go slow. It's not a race. Well, my wife thinks it's a race because I've been off 2 weeks, or actually 5 weeks, and I'm just now getting to do this for her, and I should have already done it. Then she would already be sitting on these, but instead she's sitting on a hard wooden bench. I'll have to throw a picture of that in there. Okay, where is the center? Let's see where the center is. Okay, center is right there. So we need to cut this one right here. That's the center. And this is going to go inside this here. Inside that right there. Well, imagine that. Ran out of bobbin right there at the end. And I need just enough just to carry me to the end of it. Just need a little Sploosh. Little piece. This will work right here. Let's get it all the way up underneath here, like so. All right. Well, I barely did get enough sew foam. This is all I'm going to have left is that one little piece right there. Wow. Good planning on my part. All right, now I got the glue all tacked on there. We'll let it sit for about 2 minutes, and then we'll start putting the stickers on it. We'll let it sit for about 2 minutes, and then we'll start putting the material on it. All right, that ought to be tacked up good enough. We'll start laying these on there one at a time. All right, that laid down pretty good. Now we'll sew it on there, make it stick. All right. Okay, this is the front of the material. This is the window. This is the corner piece right here that we've got to sew around. We're going to put this piece on the front. And what I've done is I've marked the center. Center's right here. And I put a little cut in it right there to mark it. And I also marked each side, as you can see right there. And right here, I marked this. And this is where my seam between this and this is going to go. So I'm going to start by sewing this piece on, and then I'll cut this on this end to fit right here, so there'll be a seam here. And we'll sew this piece on starting over here. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change my bobbin out, put a fresh piece in, a fresh bobbin, because doing this will use up darn near a whole bobbin. And we don't want to run out in the middle of this because it's such a heavy material and such a large piece that I'd rather just get it done in one shot and not have to stop in the middle of it and load up another piece. Alright, there's a new bobbin now. So let's go ahead and turn it on and get started. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray a little silicone on everything. That silicone will make this stuff where it slides and it won't bunch up as bad. It's still going to bunch up, so don't think that this is gonna make it not bunch up. It's gonna bunch up. Let's see. Let's get about right there. And let's pull this out to about right there. Okay. Now, if we can't get this to lay down for us. Once it starts falling over the edge, gravity's your friend. It just really starts working a whole lot better. Alright, let's get around this curve now. Now we gotta sew our other piece on. We're gonna have to cut this piece here. There's a mark right here, so we're gonna cut it about 1/2 inch. We're gonna keep it the same size all the way across. Now, let's get this piece here and get it sewed on there. Throw it up over my shoulders here. Get this sewn in, and we will go from here let's put this back underneath. See, this seam goes right there in that little cut spot where I had planned for it to go. And hold this material there, like so. Okay, now we'll put these two together. Okay. Now. Okay, just gonna leave it like that. That'll be good enough. All right, let's check it out. All right, this is the middle one. Let's make sure it looks good all the way around. I think it's going to look fine. Let's see what one looks like. Let's see. That's good.
That's gonna be all right. Oh, 2 more to go.
Way better though. Way better. Well, got them all finished up, and this is what they look like. I think they turned out really good. People already been sitting on them, and they say they're much more comfortable. So it's good. Thank you guys for watching. It's awesome.